Facing off for South Summit is number 9, Elena Hansen.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. We'd like to welcome you here to the Spanish Fork Softball Complex in Spanish Fork, Utah, where the Union Cougars are taking on the South Summit team. I believe it's the South Summit Braves, I believe. South Summit Wildcats. That's right, South Summit Wildcats. Sorry, Wildcats fans. South Summit is up to bat first. Elena Hansen, number 9, is your batter. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top half of the first inning. Pitcher for Union is Allie Rook, number 6. Allie is the flex player for Union. Count now is 2-2 on Elena Hansen. There's a pitch over the outside portion of the river. Count runs full now on Hansen, number 9. Hansen is the center fielder for South Summit. Oh, strike 3, she's out, swinging for the first out of the inning here in the top of the first inning. Next up to bat will be number 10, Grace Olson. Grace is the left fielder for South Summit. And she fouls the bunt off against the backstop. Count 0-1 now on Olson. Rook getting the signs from the dugout and the catcher. Dugout relaying them to the catcher, now going to Rook. Here comes the pitch from Rook. Right down the river, strike 2. Beautiful pitch by Rook. She rocked and fired that one right where she wanted it. That ball never moved, came right down the river. Strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Grace Olson goes down swinging for the second out. Next up is number 15, Cassidy Horton.
Batting number 15, Cassidy Horton.
Cassidy is the shortstop for the South Summit Wildcats. First ball over for a ball, or first pitch over for a ball, I should say. Horton back in the batter's box now. Rook ready to pitch. Gripping the ball, here it comes. Right down the middle for a strike. Another swinging strike by Cassidy. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Next offering is pop fly into right field. The right fielder, Chloe Hyder, is under it, and Chloe Hyder makes the catch for the third out of the inning. After the top half of 1, the score is 0-0. South Summit and Union are tied. We'll be back after these short commercial breaks.
I'm Reed Skinner. I'm an OBGYN, recently transferred here to Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi. I'm excited to bring to Nephi the experience and the training that I've had in helping to take care of women through all stages of life, from low risk to high risk pregnancies or infertility, family planning, all the way to postmenopause and the management of that time frame. I also specialize in minimally invasive surgery. I'm excited to be here in Nephi and partnering with Central Valley Medical Center, providing the best possible care we can for women through all stages of life.
National Vinyl Products of Nephi has been a part of Juab County since 2004. The management and staff take pride in supporting the students of Juab High School in the game and in the classroom. The company manufactures high-quality vinyl fencing for a host of uses around the state. If you're 18 years of age and would like to join the workforce at National Vinyl Products in Nephi, please send an email to jobs@nvpfence.com. That's jobs@nvpfence.com. The entire staff and crew at National Vinyl Products wish the Wasps the best of luck this season.
Welcome back, everyone, to Spanish Fork, Utah, to the Spanish Fork Softball Complex. I'm Jeff Sanders. We're here on a beautiful morning watching some softball between the Union Cougars and the South Summit Wildcats. Score is tied 0-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. This is the first at-bat for the Union Cougars. First up to bat will be number 7, Marley Horrocks. Horrocks will be followed by Delcy Lamb, who's on deck, and in the hole is number 16, Messa Nelson. Pitching for the South Summit Wildcats will be number 4, Caitlin Lewis. Catching is number 3, Amy Lair. First base, number 19, Sadie Edding. Number 17, Bailey Sinich. Number 15, Cassidy Horton. Number 14, Brooklyn Tuttle at third. Here comes the first pitch, and that is over the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 is the count on Marley Horrocks. In left field is number 10, Grace Olson. Number 9 in center field is Elena Hansen. And number 2, Cassidy Edding in right field. Here comes the second offering. Inside for a ball. Count is 1-1 now on Marley Horrocks. Horrocks is a center fielder for the Union Cougars. Comes the third offering from Caitlin Lewis. That was fouled off over the backstop for the second strike. Count is 1-2 on Horrocks. There's a flare into right center. Center fielder Elena Hansen, number 9, comes in and makes the grab for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 3, Delcy Lamb.
Next up is number 3, Delcy Lamb. There's a shot back to the pitcher, throws it over to first base. Lewis to Edding. 19, the first baseman, Sadie Edding, took the ball from Caitlin Lewis, the pitcher, for the second out on a beautiful play. That ball was hard hit back to the pitcher. Next up is Messa Nelson, number 16. Messa takes that ball, pitch for a ball. Second offering from Caitlin Lewis here. Just a little bit high, right down the middle, but a little bit high. Count is 2-0 on Messa Nelson. There's a one foul back over the backstop for strike 1. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike on Messa Nelson, number 16. Nelson is a shortstop for Union. Count now is 3 balls, 1 strike on Nelson. Here comes Lewis with the pitch. There's a drive into left field. It's deep. It's got a chance. It is out of here for a home run. Messa Nelson, solo home run in the top or in the bottom of the first inning, putting Union up 1-0 over the South Summit Wildcats. Grace Olson, number 10, went back to the fence and was focused on the ball and went right over the safety fence. We hope she's okay out there. She looks to be okay. She went back and took one look at the fence like, yeah, I can see it, but if there's any chance I can get my hands on it, I'm going to go for it, and she paid the price for it. Great determination shown by Grace Olson, number 10 from South Summit. Next up for Union is Maddie Hadlock, number 4. There's a shot to left field again, and that one is gone as well. Another solo home run. Hadlock parks one. 2-0 Union Cougars. Here in the bottom half of the first inning, Allie Rook's got to come up with some way to fool these Union hitters. They're jumping on her fastballs and putting them over the fence. Like South Summit is calling a timeout. I'm going to see if they can go out and talk to Allie and get her calmed down and kind of refocus their attention on what they hope to accomplish here. So after Marley Horrocks and Delcy Lamb quickly were sent to the locker room, Messa Nelson parked one in straightaway left field, followed by a solo shot by Maddie Hadlock, putting the Union Cougars up 2-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Next up is Mallory Bostick, number 13. She had an older sister named Madison who played in this tournament last year. That first offering is over for a ball on the outside of the river. Bostick's back in, ready to take the pitch from Rook. Allie turns and fires. There's a little flare into left field. In comes Grace Olson to throw the ball in. She throws it into Bailey Sinich. Bailey gets the ball into Rook. So Bostick is safe aboard on first. That brings up Chloe Hyder, number 10. Chloe played in this tournament last year. Chloe's a lefty. Let's see if she's going to slap. They're not playing her up like a slapper, so let's see if she opts to swing away. First pitch is over for a ball on the inside portion. Hyder's back in the box now, waiting for Rook's pitch. Allie gripping the ball, and here it comes right down the middle. Fouled off, and that will be over the backstop, out of play. Count now 1-1 on Hyder. Pitch come in. I apologize. I've been calling Caitlin Lewis Allie Rook. Lewis pitching that one in for a ball 2. Count is 2-1 on Hyder. Comes a pitch from Lewis, fouled back into the backstop for strike 2. Count 2-2 now on Hyder. Bostick on first. 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Score 2-0 for Union. The pitch, Hyder drives that one right back up the middle, taken by the second baseman, and she is out at second. Bostick was tagged by the second baseman, Bailey Sinich, for the 3rd out of the inning on a beautiful play. At the bottom half of the first inning, that takes the score 2-0 Union over South Summit. We'll take a short commercial break and be right back.
Our team works hard to shape the quality of life wherever we live and work. These values allow our team to be the go-to source for rural entities.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones & DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones & DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that can
Okay, welcome back to Spanish Fork, Utah, the Spanish Fork Softball Complex. Here on the first day, or second day rather, of the State 3A Girls Tournament. where the Union Cougars are facing the South Summit Wildcats. First up here in the second inning is number 17, Bailey Sinich, the second baseman for South Summit. He takes strike one for the first pitch. Sinich is back in the box. That one was outside over the river, outside of the river for ball one. Count is 1-1 on Sinich now. Allie Rook threw that one in there, and Sinich fouled it off on the attempted bunt for strike two. Ball popped up, and the catcher, Mallory Bostick, came back and really went after it hard, but couldn't get to it. Third baseman Tori Ross came in on the charge as well, but just in no man's land there. Third offering rung her up. Strike three looking. Sinich goes down. First out of the inning. Next up is number 3, Amy Lair. On deck is Cassidy Edding, number 2, with Brooklyn Tuttle, number 15, on deck. Amy Lair steps into the plate. Allie Rook taking the sign from the catcher, grips the ball and fires it in. Wow, what a curve. She fired that in right down the middle of the plate, and by the time it got halfway to the plate, it has already started breaking and ended up about 2 feet outside the strike zone. Ball 2 inside and low. Count 2-0 on Rook, or Lair, excuse me, by Rook. Rook really getting some good turn on the ball. There's a curveball foul down the right side, out of play. Count 2-1 on Amy Lair. Lair is the catcher for South Summit. That ball was high. Count now 3-1 on Lair. Rook comes with the next offering right down the middle, strike 2. Lair took a healthy cut at it, but came up short. Full count now. Fouls that one off into the backstop. Lair's got to protect the plate now. Nothing close can go by without a cut here, so she's got her work cut out for her. Rook's really been turning the ball over nicely, getting some good movement. That one right down the inside. Looked like that might have had some potential to be a strike on the river, but called ball 4. Lair takes first on the ball. Next up will be number 2, Cassidy Edding. Got a courtesy runner coming in for the catcher, Lair.
Running for the catcher is number 20, Chandler Rees.
Chandler Rees comes in for Lair as a courtesy runner, number 20. And that ball came in the catcher. Mallory Bostick came up and fired that down to Maddie Hadlock. There's a bunt and an overthrow on first. The runner from second will move to third. So Lair moves to third on the bunt by Edding. Edding is safe at first, so we have runners on first and second with 1 out. Next up is number 14, Brooklyn Tuttle.
Now batting, number 14, Brooklyn Tuttle.
Nope, there's a fake throw and they got her. Oh, that was, boy, that looked like she may have been in under the tag on that one. The tag was applied high, but Nonetheless, she was called out. So I believe that was Lair was called out coming in from third. Edding is still at second, moved to second on the throw home. First pitch was a strike, second pitch is a ball. Count is 1-1 on Brooklyn Tuttle. That was a close play at home. I thought that the runner was under the tag. Tuttle out at first on the grounder to second. Delcy Lamb came up and fired that over to the first baseman, Maddie Hadlock. After the end of the first inning, or the top of the second inning rather, the score remains 2-0 for the Union Cougars. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is proud to bring you this presentation. IPSC is a community-minded company that contributes to our local schools, community organizations, and economy. The Intermountain Power Project consistently ranks among the best of America's coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. Intermountain Power Service Corporation strives for perfection and is honored to be actively involved with Delta, Millard, and Juab High Schools.
Azomite Mineral Products in Nephi is using a unique deposit to create fertilizers and as a feed ingredient for customers all over the world. Their Feed Grit product, used as a feed ingredient for livestock, is gaining popularity because research has indicated its potential to improve overall animal health. Azomite can be found at your IFA Country Store, Steve Regan stores, or on their website at azomite.com. For more information, visit them on Facebook, Twitter, or the web. Azomite is excited to be part of the Nephi community and supports Juab High School athletics.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork, Utah. We're here at the Spanish Fork Softball Complex today as the Union Cougars and the South Summit Wildcats are facing off in this second day of the state championship tournament for 3A. Union is leading 2-0 over the South Summit Wildcats. Union's up in the bottom half of the second inning. First batter will be number 10, Chloe Hyder. Number 11, Abby Earl, is on deck with Brindy Bartlett, number 2, in the hole. Caitlin Lewis, number 4, the pitcher, rocks and fires right down the middle for strike one. Amy Lair fires it back to Lewis, who's waiting for the sign to come in from the dugout. Lair's looking at the dugout, now giving the sign. Here comes Lewis with the pitch. She turns and fires. That was just a little bit high for ball one. Counts 1-1 on Chloe Hyder. Hyder's the right fielder for the Union Cougars. There's strike two. Swing and a miss by Hyder. Hyder made that beautiful catch out and right to end the top half of the first inning. Hyder in ready. Here comes the offering. Strike three, a swing and a miss. Hyder goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. Next up is number 11, Abby Earl.
Now batting number 2, Brindy Bartlett.
Oh, my apologies. That was not Chloe Hyder. That was Abby Earl that struck out. Next up is number 2, Brindley Bartlett. Bartlett is the left fielder. Hits one sharply down the left field line. Third baseman Brooklyn Tuttle comes over to take the ball. Count is 0-1 on Bartlett. The off-speed pitch driven into center field. Elena Hansen, number 9, makes the catch for the out. It's the second out of the inning. Next up is number 5, Tori Ross.
Number 5, Tori Ross.
Tori Ross, left-hander. There's a bunt by Ross. Third baseman comes in, fires it over the head of the first baseman. Covering is the right fielder. Throws to second, but not in time. Cassidy Edding came up with the errant throw from Brooklyn Tuttle and fired it into Bailey Sinich, who was there for the catch, but not in time with the tag.
Now up, number 7, Marley Horrocks.
Next up is number 7, Marley Horrocks. Horrocks takes the first pitch for ball 1. Horrocks is the center fielder for the Union Cougars. Here comes the pitch from Caitlin Lewis. There's a drive into left center. One run will come in and score. That was Tori Ross coming in to score, adding one more run for the Union Cougars on the double by Horrocks. Next up is number 3, Delcy Lamb. Lamb also a left-hander. There's the pitch over for a strike from Caitlin Lewis. Count is 0-1 on Lamb. Horrocks standing safely on second after the double. Score 3-0 for the Union Cougars. Ball inside. 1-1 is the count on Delcy Lamb. Here's the pitch from Lewis. There's a chopper to the second baseman who fires it to first and pulls off the bag. Uh-oh, they're running to the second now. And they tagged her, but she dropped the ball. Horrocks comes in and scores from second. Lamb is safe at second. That will take the score to 4-0 for the Union. It looked like Bailey Sinich had the ball and made the tag, but the collision resulted with Lamb, jarred the ball loose, and on the resulting dropped ball, Marley Horrocks was able to come around third and score. Coach from South Summit has seen enough. He's out talking to the team, trying to calm everyone's nerves and get them focused again on what they're doing. Sure, this is not how they anticipated this inning going.
Now batting number 16, Messa Nelson.
Shortstop Messa Nelson, number 16, is next up for Union. Lewis receives the signs from Lair. There's the pitch outside, ball 1. Lamb is taunting Lair from second base, trying to get her to make a ill-advised throw. Lair's not buying into that. Comes the pitch, and there's a shot. That could be out of here. That could be, and it is. Center fielder Elena Nelson went over the safety fence and looked like she landed really hard. That's a 2-run home run from Messa Nelson. That will push the score to 6-0 for the Union Cougars. That's her second home run.
Now batting number 4, Maddie Hadlock.
Number 4, Maddie Hadlock, is next up to bat for Union. There's a foul off the bat of Hadlock. Back into the fence. Strike one, 0-1 is the count. Strike 2 over the outside corner from Lewis. Here comes the next offering from Lewis. There's a drive into left field by Hadlock. Grace Olson comes up with the ball and fires it into Sinich. Hadlock is safely aboard at first.
Number 13, Mallory Bostick.
Number 13, Mallory Bostick, is up next for the Union Cougars. Mallory's a catcher for Union. First pitch is over for a ball. Looked like that one was low. Second pitch to Bostick is inside, ball 2. Hadlock safe aboard on first. Score is 6-0 here in the bottom half of the second inning. Lewis turns and fires. Strike over the outside corner, strike 1. Count is 2-1 against Mallory Bostick. Hadlock at first. Here comes the pitch, high and outside, 3-1 to Bostick now. Lewis in danger of putting Bostick on here. She's got to come with something good. There's a pitch right down the middle, driven into shallow left field, right through the gap of short and third. Grace Olson comes up and fires it into the shortstop, Cassidy Horton. Horton walks the ball over to Lewis.
Now batting number 10, Chloe Hyder.
Number 10, Chloe Hyder, the right fielder, is up for Union. Runners on first and second. Mallory Bostick on first, Maddie Hadlock on second. Comes the first pitch, fouled off. Count 0-1 on Hyder. Union sporting a number of left-handed batters. Here comes the pitch from Lewis, high and inside. 1-1 now, the count on Hyder. Hyder has the opportunity to do some damage here if she can get a single or a double. There's another foul back into the backstop for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Chloe Hyder, right fielder for the Union Cougars. Score 6-0, Union leading South Summit Wildcats. Here's the pitch from Lewis. Ball 2, count now 2-2 on Chloe Hyder. Hyder back in the box and readies herself. Lewis turns, fires. There's a drive in between first and second to the right fielder. The runners will hold at second and third, so now the bases are loaded for Abby Earl, number 11. Hyder at first, Bostick at second, and Hadlock on third. Coach for the Union Cougars. Abby Earl up to bat now. Ball. That one looked to be high from our vantage point. Earl back in the box now, looking at Lewis, waiting the pitch. Here it comes right down the middle. There's a shot down the left field line, curving foul. Umpire did not throw his hands in the air, but everybody's moving back, so he must have yelled out, but did not give the sign for foul ball. Count 1-1 now on Earl. Bases loaded, Hyder at first, Bostic at second, and Hadlock at third. Here comes the pitch from Lewis. Pops it up. Oh, the catcher and the pitcher got confused on who was taking the ball. Lewis and Lair not communicating very well there. Unfortunately, let a very catchable foul ball drop harmlessly. That gives Abby Earl new life. Counts 1-2 on Earl. Here comes a pitch from Lewis right down the middle. She drives that to the shortstop. There's the out at second for the third out of the inning. So after two, Union Cougars are leading 6-0 over the South Summit Wildcats. We'll be back after these messages.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Doctors B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Physician's Assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
You ever look up at the stars and wonder, how do they pack all that taste into these charbroiled?
Okay, welcome back to the Spanish Fork Softball Complex here in Spanish Fork, Utah, where the Union Cougars are leading the South Summit Wildcats 6-0. Next up for the South Summit Wildcats is number 19, Sadie Edding. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name right. It's either Edding or Eiting. It's E-I-T-I-N-G.
Now batting number 19, Sadie Eiting.
Well, they're calling her Eiting, so I'll call her Eiting. Here comes the first pitch from Rook. Strike one. Swing and a miss by Eiting, number 19. Sadie's the first baseman for South Summit. South Summit needs some base runners here. That pitch right down the middle, strike two. Eiting took a look at it but didn't like it. Now down in the count 0-2. Nobody on, nobody out here in the top half of the third inning. That pitch is outside for ball one. Count is 1-2 on Eiting. Here comes the pitch from Rook. Boy, right down the river, but high. Counts 2-2 now against Sadie Eiting, the first baseman. She's set to receive another pitch, and strike three, swinging. So Eiting goes down.
Now batting number 4, Caitlin Lewis.
Next up is number 4, the pitcher, Caitlin Lewis. Lewis bunts the ball, but bunts it foul into the backstop for strike one. Get the bunt put down successfully. We'll see if she can beat it out. Comes the next offering, swing and a miss by Lewis, strike two. Here comes the third pitch from Rook. Swing and a miss, strike three. Second strikeout of the inning. Two down here in the top half of the third.
Number 9, Elena Hansen.
Next up is number 9, Elena Hansen. First pitch fouled back into the backstop, strike one.
We have a two-run home run for Sydney Dillon, a three-run home run for Sydney Dillon. Reserve the hot dog home run certificate.
Hansen back in the box now, ready to take the pitch from Rook. Alley grips the ball and fires it in high. Ball one, count 1-1 on Elena Hansen, the left fielder. Elena took a nasty tumble over the safety fence in left field, but looks to be okay. She's none worse for the wear. That pitch low and outside, ball two, count 2-1 on Hansen. Oh, excuse me, Hansen was the center fielder, not the Grace Olson was the other young lady that took the nasty spill over the fence. That pitch fouled into the backstop again. Count is full on Hansen. South Summit hoping the center fielder can put this into play and reach safely. There's a little flare to the third baseman for the third out of the inning. Hansen goes down on a pop fly. Let's take just a moment and thank some of our sponsors here. Intermountain Power Service Corporation, National Vinyl Products, Cal's Jr., Centricom Channel 10, Beaver Medical Clinic, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Central Valley Medical Center, Azamite, Jones & DeMille Engineering, and Beaver Valley Hospital. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
You ever look up at the stars and wonder, how do they pack all that taste into these charbroiled sliders that start for just $1? Magic. Charbroiled sliders starting at just $1. Only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
If you got $5, you could get like 9.96 inches of sandwich. Woo! Or you can get a real meal with a charbroiled double cheeseburger, dog, fries, and a cookie. The $5 All-Star Meals, only at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
I'm Dr. Chris Karish, orthopedic surgeon with a subspecialty in sports medicine. Central Valley Medical Center has state-of-the-art operating rooms and the latest orthopedic equipment to provide me with the tools to perform safe and minimally invasive procedures. I've had the opportunity to treat athletes from my own sons to the NFL. I provide a wide variety of treatments to get you back on your feet and enjoying your life. Come see us here at Central Valley Medical Center where we can treat you as a friend and not a medical record number.
Coming to the Juab County Fairgrounds this August is country group Restless Heart in concert. Get tickets now at JuabCountyFair.com. Get advance tickets now for Restless Heart in concert at the Juab County Fairgrounds at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, August 9th. Floor seating is just $30. Reserve seating $20. Get your tickets now at JuabCountyFair.com. Don't miss Restless Heart in concert August 9th in Nephi, Utah. Get tickets at JuabCountyFair.com.
Welcome back to the Spanish Fork Softball Complex here in Spanish Fork, Utah, where the Union Cougars are battling the South Summit Wildcats. Union is leading 6-0. First up to bat in this inning is number 2, Brindley Bartlett. Bartlett took ball 1 for the first pitch. She swings and misses at the second offering. Now the count is 1-1, a ball and a strike on Bartlett. Nobody on, nobody out. here at the start of the inning. There's a drive into deep center, or shallow center, I should say. The out is made by Elena Hansen, number 9. Charges in. She's a lot happier to come in rather than go out and have another run in with that fence. One down here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Next up to bat is Tori Ross, number 5. High ball 1 on Tori Ross. Caitlin Lewis coming in just a little bit high on that one. There's a little pop-up just in no man's land. Bailey Sinich just can't get to it, neither can Cassidy Eiding from right field. Ross ends up safely aboard first with a single. Number 6 is up next, Allie Rook, the pitcher for Union, looking to help her own cause here. And there's a bunt foul. Strike 1. Count 0-1 on Rook. Oh, excuse me, Marley Horrocks. I've got the darn flex player in a spot where I shouldn't have her on my score sheet. And Horrocks is out. Pop fly to third baseman Brooklyn Tuttle, number 14.
Now batting, number 3, Delcy Lamb.
That's the second out of the inning. Next up is number 3, Delcy Lamb. She hits it to the first baseman who tags the bag for the out. Sadie Eiding, number 19, quickly picks up the ball and touches the base for the out. That's 3 outs in this inning. We'll be back after these short commercial messages.
My name is Richard Anderson. I'm one of the general surgeons working at Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Utah. My trajectory was not into surgery at first. I decided to become a research scientist, but I had no opportunity to work with people. Since moving to this area, I have made lasting friends, lifelong friends, and I have enjoyed providing the same sort of quality surgical care that they can obtain in Salt Lake or Provo, but with more prompt and certainly more personal service.
The trail is calling. Every turn, hill, and fallen log is screaming your name, and you're ready because you have the right type of power and agility to answer the call. Introducing the Honda Pioneer 1000 with best-in-class 999cc engine and the industry's only 6-speed fully automatic dual-clutch transmission. Check out the Honda Pioneer 1000 at Garrett Honda, 563 North Main in Nephi. Garrett Honda, our family serving your family for over 50 years.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork, Utah. We're here to watch the Union Cougars and the South Summit Wildcats face off. Next up is number 10, Grace Olson. Bunts the ball right back to the pitcher and is thrown out at first base. 1 out here in the top half of the 4th inning. Union's leading by a score of 6-0.
Next batter, number 15, Cassidy Horton.
Next up is number 15, Cassidy Horton. Cassidy's the shortstop for South Summit. South Summit in dire need of some base runners. Allie Rook again really getting some great movement on her curveball. That thing's got to be breaking 3 feet. There's a drive to deep center field, and it is out of here. Cassidy Horton bringing life to the South Summit Wildcats.
Congratulations, Cass, on your home run. Come up to the scores booth after the game and get your certificate for a
6-1 as Horton comes into home plate, greeted by her teammates. Excited to see something positive happen finally on offense for the Wildcats. Congratulations to Horton. What a great home run. She really got into that one. Next up is number 17, Bailey Sinich for South Summit. Bailey is the second baseman for the Wildcats. There's another drive into center. Center fielder moving under it, and Marley Horrocks, number 7, makes the catch just shy of the fence. That's 2 out in the inning. Actually, yes, 2 out. Next up is number 3, Amy Lair. Lair flares one into left center field. Center fielder Marley Horrocks comes over and grabs a hold of it and gets it in very quickly. Fires it into Delcy Lamb. Lamb gets the ball to Rook. Lair safe aboard. They would have loved to have had her on for Horton's home run.
Now batting, number 2, Cassidy Eiding.
Next up for South Summit is number 2, Cassidy Eiding. Cassidy's the right fielder for the Wildcats. Left-hander takes high and outside for ball 1. Lair hoping that Eiding can move her around. 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th. There's a swing and a miss by Eiding. 1-1 is the count now. South Summit would definitely like to have some more happen in this inning. And strike 2 as Eiding turns around and fake bunts. I don't know if Lair missed a signal for steal or not, but Eiding didn't like the pitch and pulled back. Lair still at first. That pitch is outside for ball 2. Count runs 2-2 now on Cassidy Eiding. Lair patiently waiting at first, hoping that she can be moved around. Advanced at least to second. And there's another pitch outside, bringing the count full on Eiding. Wildcat right fielder hoping to do some damage. Got to protect the plate here, nothing close by. She takes a cut and fouls that pitch off against the backstop. Lair heads back to first base. Eiding doing a good job of fighting that one off. It was just a little bit high, but close enough that she couldn't not pull the trigger. Again, still in that same situation, got to protect. There's a line drive to first. Shortstop fires it over to first for the out. That's 3 outs in the inning, but Wildcats get 1 run this inning, bringing the score 6-1. Next up in the Union half of the inning will be number 16, Messa Nelson. On deck will be Maddie Hadlock, followed by number 13, Mallory Bostick. We'll be back after these short commercial breaks.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
I'm Reed Skinner. I'm an OBGYN, recently transferred here to Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi. I'm excited to bring to Nephi the experience and the training that I've had in helping to take care of women through all stages of life, from low risk to high risk pregnancies or infertility, family planning, all the way to postmenopause and the management of that time frame. I also specialize in minimally invasive surgery. I'm excited to be here in Nephi and partnering with Central Valley Medical Center, providing the best possible care we can for women through all stages of life.
Welcome back to day 2 of the state 3A ladies softball tournament. We're watching the Union Cougars and the South Summit Wildcats battle it out here. The score is 6-1 in favor of Union. First up this inning for Union is number 16, Messa Nelson. Messa is the shortstop for the Union Cougars. She made the last out of that last inning, or top half of the fourth, excuse me. Here comes the pitch from Caitlin Lewis. That was high for ball one. Nelson gets back in the batter's box and awaits the pitch. There's a drive into left, right between the shortstop and third baseman. Grace Olson, number 10, pops up and fires it back into the second baseman, Bailey Sinich, preventing Nelson from advancing. Nelson is safe aboard first base. Up next is number 4, Maddie Hadlock for the Union Cougars. Hadlock is the first baseman. There's an attempted steal, and she's safe. A throw goes off the shortstop's glove. She picks it up and fires it over to third base, but Messa Nelson able to take third on the overthrow. Count is 1-0 on Hadlock. So here in the bottom half of the fourth, the Union Cougars are ready to score some more runs. There's a little blooper, little soft grounder to the first baseman who has it come off the end of her glove and ricochet into right field. Hadlock safe aboard first and scores. Messa Nelson from third base, making the score now 7-1 for Union.
Now batting number 13, Mallory Bostic.
That's going to bring number 13, the catcher, Mallory Bostic, up for Union. Here comes the pitch from Caitlin Lewis. There's a bunt laid down by Bostic. And on the throw, the first base ump is not quite sure. Okay, he saw what we saw. The throw went to the first base, or the second baseman covering, and it hit in the palm of the second baseman's glove and popped out and lit on the ground just in front of her glove, deceptively hidden. And the runner was called correctly out by the umpire covering the bases. He looked for a moment as if he was going to ask for some help from the home plate umpire, but he got it right and didn't need to rely on the home plate umpire for the added help. Looks like we may have a pitching change here for South Summit. Lewis runs over to the dugout and is given a hug by one of the assistant coaches, which really shows a lot of class by the South Summit coaches, because no game should ever be bigger than one of the players. And as a father of a young lady who plays, I'm very touched and encouraged by that act of kindness shown by the South Summit assistant coach there. This game should be more about sportsmanship and what we learn from the lessons taught by the game, as opposed to who's winning and who's losing. Looks like
now
the
for South Summit is number 19, Sadie Eiding.
it looks like the pitcher is number 19. Number 19, Sadie Eiding.
On first now, number 11, Kira Bush.
So Sadie was playing first base before. She's pitching now, and number 11 is the new first baseman for South Summit. Number 11 is Kira Bush. We'll see if Eiding can bring some good luck to the Wildcats here as she takes the circle for the Wildcats. She's warming up now. Infield's giving Bush a few chances to field and throw and get her arm warmed up as well. Next up for Union is 10, Chloe Hyder.
Now batting, Chloe Hyder.
Runners on first and second for Union. Hyder, another left-hander. She's ready, and here's the pitch. Looks like that one's low for ball one. Score 7-1 here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. No outs in the inning. The pitch to Hyder right down the river on the inside of the plate for strike one. So great pitch by Eiding. There's an attempted bunted foul. Strike two. Count 1-2 on Hyder. There's a pitch high for a ball. 2-2 now the count on Hyder. There's a ball fouled back into the backstop. Count remains 2-2 on Hyder. Here comes the next offering from Eiding. Off-speed pitch right down the middle. Got her looking with a beautiful off-speed pitch. For the first out of the inning. Next up is number 11, Abby Earl. Still have Mallory Bostick and Maddie Hadlock on first and second. Here comes a pitch from Eiding outside, ball one. Counts 1-0 on Earl. Next offering from Eiding is high and outside, ball two. 2-0 on 11, Abby Earl. Strike one. Eiding coming with a good pitch there. Count 2-1 on Earl. Abby Earl is a designated player for Union. Count now runs to 3-1 on Earl. Here comes a pitch down the inside, pulled foul down the third baseline. Count now full on Earl. Eiding's worked the count to a little more favorable situation for her. Here comes the payoff pitch. That one is also pulled foul down the third baseline. Earl's got to be careful and protect here. Nothing close can get by. Full count with one out on Abby Earl, number 11. That ball comes out of Eiding's hand early and bounces twice to the catcher. Ball four. Earl takes first on the walk. Earl draws a base on balls. Next up is number 2, Brindy Bartlett. Brindy is a left fielder for the Cougars. Bases are loaded with one out. Brindy can really do some damage here. There's a drive through the shortstop. One run will come in. Grace Olson came to the ball quickly and fired it in. The ball was cut off by the third baseman. That was a great play by Olson to stop any more runs from coming across the plate. Next up is number 5 for the Union Cougars, Tori Ross. There's a hit right back to the pitcher, who fires it back to the catcher, who quickly steps on the plate for the out. 2 down now. Bases will remain full.
Now batting number 7, Marley Horrocks.
Next up is number 7, Marley Horrocks. Horrocks, the first baseman for the Cougars. Bases are still loaded. There's a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Union would love to have another ball go yard here and put another 4 runs up. Score is 8-1. Here comes the pitch from Eiding outside, ball 2. Horrocks licking her chops here. She really wants to do some good. Ball outside. 3-0 here now. It'll be interesting to see whether or not her coach gives her the green light. A walk is a run here. Here comes the pitch from Eiding. Right down the middle for strike 1. Horrocks still now will be looking for something absolutely perfect. If it's not her favorite pitch, probably let it go. There's a shot to center field. It's deep, it's high, it's gone. Grand slam for Marley Horrocks, number 7 from Union.
Congratulations on your grand slam, Marley. Come up to the scores booth after the game and get a certificate for a free hot dog.
Marley greeted by her teammates at the plate. They all want a bite of the hot dog she just won by getting the grand slam. We'll see if there's enough to go around after the game. That will push the score to 12-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning with 2 outs. South Summit in danger now of the 10-run rule coming into effect in the next inning.
Batting now, number 3, Delcy Lamb.
Second baseman Delcy Lamb is up next for Union. Delcy looking to start reloading the bases for the Cougars as they have become a juggernaut here in the 4th inning. Here comes a pitch from Eiding. There's a shot to the shortstop, who stops the ball from going into the outfield but cannot make a play on the ball. The third baseman came up with it and prevented Lamb from advancing to second. Lamb reaching first base on the single. Should be scored a hit. There was no error there. Next up is number 16, Messa Nelson. Nelson has hit 2 home runs so far in this game. There's a shot to center field. Center fielder Elena Hansen came in to make the play on the ball for the 3rd out of the inning. South Summit happy to see that inning over with. So after 3 outs, the score 12-1. The top of the 5th inning, we'll see Brooklyn Tuttle, followed by Sadie Eiding and Caitlin, or excuse me, I believe Elena Hansen. We'll be back after these short messages.
National Vinyl Products of Nephi has been a part of Juab County since 2004. The management and staff take pride in supporting the students of Juab High School in the game and in the classroom. The company manufactures high-quality vinyl fencing for a host of uses around the state, If you're 18 years of age and would like to join the workforce at National Vinyl Products in Nephi, please send an email to jobs@nvpfence.com. That's jobs@nvpfence.com. The entire staff and crew at National Vinyl Products wish the Wasps the best of luck this season.
Our team works hard to shape the quality of life. Our team works hard to shape the quality of life wherever we live and work. These values allow our team to be the go-to source for rural entities.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, visit jonesandemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork, everybody, where the Union Cougars just put up a ton of runs. They lead the game against the South Summit Wildcats 12-1 in the top of the 5th inning. The Wildcats have got to score 2 runs here in order to prevent the 10-run rule from taking effect. First up to bat is number 14, Brooklyn Tuttle. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch is a ball. Counts 2-0. Looks like we've had a change of pitcher in between innings for Union. I'm not sure who the pitcher is. She's number 4. Here comes the next pitch. There's a foul ball back over the backstop, taking the count to 2-2. There's a shot down the right field line, out of play. Count will remain 2-2 on Tuttle.
Pitching for Union is number 4, Maddie Hadlock.
Looks like Maddie Hadlock is the pitcher for Union. Count runs full now on Brooklyn Tuttle. Got to protect the plate here. And she does. Fouled that off of her leg. That looks like that hurt. Score 12-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. Again, the 10-run rule is going to come into effect if South Summit cannot score 2 runs here in this inning. Here's the pitch from Hadlock. There's a pop up to the shortstop who makes the catch. Messa Nelson making short work of the pop up.
Now batting, number 19, Sadie Eiding.
Next up is number 19, Sadie Eiding. Here comes a pitch from Maddie Hadlock. Beautiful looking curveball right over the river for strike 1. Count 0-1 on Eiding. Comes the second offering from Hadlock. Another curveball over the outside corner, strike 2. Hadlock doing a great job of pitching here in relief of Allie Rook. Eiding takes that pitch outside, ball one, count now 1-2. Hadlock ran that pitch in on the hands of Eiding, who fouled it off the handle. Count now remains 1-2. There's a shot down the first baseline, fielded by whoever took Maddie Hadlock's place at first. I'm not sure that I can make that number out from here. It was a beautiful play by the first baseman to make the second out of the inning. Here comes a pitch from Hadlock, strike one on first baseman Kira Bush. Count 0-2 on Bush. And that one is fouled back into the backstop. Here comes the next offering from Hadlock. That ball is well out of play to the first base side of the field. Count remains 0-2 with 2 out. South Summit season in a lot of trouble right here. So it's in danger of ending. Bush fighting for everything she's worth in the batter's box, fouling off the pitches that are not to her liking. Strike three. Bush is out with a half-hearted swing on the third strike. That should do it for this game. Union wins 12-1 in 5 innings. Thanks for joining us here at Spanish Fork Softball Complex. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Intermountain Power Service Corporation, National Vinyl Products, Carl's Jr., Centricom, Channel 10, Beaver Medical Clinic, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Central Valley Medical Center, Azamite, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Juab County, and Beaver Valley Hospital. Thanks again and have a great afternoon.